Tough times, we all go through them. That's just a part of life. As you grow older, you start to realize that people don't really hang out like that anymore. Everybody's busy. People in your contacts will just send you quick reels, quick little TikTok videos, and just keep it moving. Everything is surface nowadays. I'm just being real. Someone who I got connected to via social media, who is local around my area doing big things, owns a construction company, motivational speaker, and pastor, reached out to me for an opportunity to collaborate more. I said, look, man, if we are going to build this friendship, let's build it the right way. I don't do surface level relationships anymore. It's either we are in covenant or we are not. I told him, let's meet for some lunch. He agreed. As we sat down, he was pouring into me since he was about 20 years older than me. And I told him, I know that you've been seeing me on social media doing big things, and we got connected, but trust me, big bro, there's a lot that I need to work on. There's a lot that I'm going through behind the scenes, and I'm still catching up. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I got everything figured out. I'm just being real. He sat down, nodded his head, and slowly, this time he looked at me with a face that was more vulnerable and more open. What's bothering you? Reason why you are in a tough situation is because you're not being real with yourself. You know you hurt. You know what your spouse did to you traumatized you. You know that the church hurt you. You know that you haven't healed from the past yet. I once read in my favorite book that says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. What's the truth right now? You're not the only one that's going through tough times. You're not the only one that needs someone to lean on. You want people to match your frequency, but you're not interested on matching their frequency. It's all about you. You're speaking to them, but they're not resonating with you. Go out your way to go help and reach out to someone who may need you. You will never know if someone needs you until you check up on them and they tell you that they need you. Their pride and ego may stand in the way, but deep down, you know that they need you. The world has deceived us into thinking that it's okay to not express how we feel. In my book, Emotional Freedom, I explain how there's 3 levels to how someone can be freed emotionally. I explain the concepts of interpretation, manifestation, and expression. Once upon a time, there was a man named Jerry who was going through a financial crisis. The odds were stacked against him. His spouse broke up with him, calling him lame and not fun to be around. His car broke down. He got laid off from work. He was drowning in massive debt. On top of all of that, his friends abandoned him. One night, as he lay in bed, overwhelmed by everything collapsing on him, he questioned himself and said, all of this happening to me, but what if I just change the way I'm interpreting it? What if this is an opportunity for me to grow? What if this is just the season I'm meant to come out stronger? What if the problem isn't me? That single thought sparked a change in him. Instead of letting his circumstances define him, Jerry decided to shift his mindset. Since he couldn't afford a gym membership, he started working out at home. He learned how to groom himself better, making sure to stay well kept. He didn't have many clothes, but he took care of the ones that he did have, keeping them clean, neatly ironed, and presentable. He even went to Walmart to buy some cologne, determined to carry himself with dignity. As his perspective changed, so did the way he carried himself. One day, Jerry decided to go to church. That same day, something extraordinary was already set in motion. A prophet had traveled all the way from the Bahamas, not for an event, not for a conference, but because God had spoken to him. Go to this church, God told him. There is a man I need you to speak to. And so the prophet obeyed. As Jerry sat in the congregation, lost in thought, the prophet suddenly stood up from his seat and the atmosphere shifted. The choir stopped singing. The air grew still. Then the prophet did something strange. He clapped his hands 3 times. Then the microphone cut off. The sound system shut down. The projector flickered and died. Silence crept in the room. The entire congregation froze up. Even the air in the building felt different. It was as if something divine had stepped in, demanding attention. Everyone looked around in shock. The musicians fumbled with their instruments. The pastor stood frozen. The congregation held their breath. And in the middle of that silence, the prophet finally spoke. God is speaking to me. His voice echoed through the church, even without a microphone. There is a man here by the name of Jerry. 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 Where are you? Jerry. Goosebumps ran down Jerry's arms. His heart pounded. He hesitated for a moment, then slowly stood up. As he stepped forward, the presence in the room grew even heavier. With every step he took toward the prophet, it felt like an unseen force was pulling him closer. The prophet locked eyes with Jerry and said, God spoke to me in a dream. He told me that a man named Jerry would be here today. A man who has been facing hardship after hardship. But listen, these struggles weren't meant to break you. God was testing you, watching to see if you would crack or rise above it. Tears welled up in Jerry's eyes. His whole body trembled as he stood before the congregation. Because you did not fold under pressure, your season is changing. The prophet continued, and just like that, everything started to shift in Jerry's life. The moment he left church, strange things happened. He started receiving unexpected phone calls. Business opportunities he never saw coming started to come his way. Within a week, he partnered up with one of the largest corporate companies in his area. His financial struggles turned around almost overnight. He met a new woman, one who loved him, respected him, and to be honest, was way better than his ex. He got blessed with a Tesla. He was able to pay off all his debts and launch new business ventures. And this time, he was surrounded by real friends, people who sincerely cared for him. A week later, Jerry returned to the church, but this time, he wasn't empty-handed. He carried a check for $1 million. Walking up to the prophet, he handed it to him. "Take this," Jerry said. The prophet hesitated, looking down at the check, then back at Jerry. "I didn't prophesy over you to receive your money," he said. "I spoke over you so you would understand the power of interpretation and manifestation in seasons of hardship. Many people fail, not because of their circumstances, but because of how they interpret their circumstances. Had you looked at your season as punishment instead of preparation, you will still be struggling today." Jerry swallowed hard, feeling the truth of those words. You see, the way you interpret your storm determines how you manifest your breakthrough. If you see hardship as a curse, you will stay cursed. But if you see it as a season of growth, you will rise. You, Jerry, chose to see your struggles differently. And because of that, God turned your situation around. But now, He's giving you a new test. The prophet then placed the check back in Jerry's hands. What you do with this money will show if you've truly understood the lesson. Use it wisely. Invest it in the homeless. Help orphans. Lift up those who don't have the same opportunities you now have, because some of them are just in their season and they need love and encouragement to get through it. And with that, the prophet turned and walked away, never to be seen at the church again. We all go through seasons in life. Just the other day, I remembered when I was in a cold cell by myself in a tough season. You're just in a tough season, that's it. God is allowing you to go through this pain to save another daughter, to save another son. He's allowing all of this stress to overtake you so you can be built. You said that you wanted to be great, but you're not willing to get past the checkout line. You already know that they're going to bill you on your way out. Stamp, 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 stamp. Stop whining and level up. You've been called for such a time as this. If you survived COVID-19 and you are still listening to me right now, then you can survive this season in your life. Do you know how many people were stressed out and even died during COVID-19? Over 7 million people worldwide lost their lives to the virus. I came to sound the alarm for you to get off the sad train and say, I am in control of my narrative. Now you have more space to breathe because you wasn't in control back then, but now you're in control. If you inhale only, you will die. You need to exhale. Your body was meant to inhale and exhale. No matter how strong you think you are, you're going to have to exhale. There's no other way around it. You're in a tough season right now. All right, breathe in, breathe out. Let's take a step back for a moment. Look around you. The next time you're in a public gathering, whether it's at work, school, church, or anywhere else, I want you to try something new. Stay silent and simply observe the faces around you. Some people may be smiling, some may be laughing, and others might appear neutral. But behind every face, you have no idea what they're truly going through. You might assume they're okay, but in reality, they could be facing a tough battle you can't see. I was on a coaching call with one of my coaches, and she told me I can either keep complaining or make excuses. She told me, right now I'm coaching you, but you don't know what I'm dealing with. You don't know the amount of demons that I'm facing. I'm paying $25,000 for coaching, $10,000 for another coach. I'm a single parent with 2 teenage boys. I have a mortgage that I need to pay. I got 2 Airbnb apartments. I have 2 car notes that I need to pay. I have 2 rental cars. I'm on Zoom calls every day, 2 to 3 hours. And I need to make sure that both of my kids are in place. Plus, I'm a hairstylist. My point to say is, do we make excuses or do we find solutions to those excuses? And we figure out ways to make things happen. Yeah, I may not have the money today, but I'll have it tomorrow. Don't just look at the negative signs in your life. Dominate this season. Tell people no. Have a daily schedule. I told myself, man, Richie, you still being a slave to social media? Grow up. The only reason you will find me on social media now is just to produce, not consume. I'm not going to make Instagram rich off of me. I'd rather use Instagram as a tool to get rich. I'm busy. I don't have time for kicks and giggles. Now is not the time for me to be playing games. Why is it that when you go through hard seasons in your life, you do what is easy? I once heard a quote that says, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Why? Because a lot of people react when it comes to hard seasons in life, but don't respond. Choose your hard. Life is hard. Letting go of the past is hard. Facing your emotions is hard. Having faith in the unknown is hard. Starting over is hard. Choose your hard. Forgiving is hard, but so is holding on to resentment. Believing in yourself is hard, but so is doubting your potential. Chasing your dreams is hard, but so is living with regret. Healing is hard, but so is carrying pain. God cannot heal what you don't reveal. Are you still interested in moving forward or staying where you are at now? You think because you see all the lights that there isn't darkness from within. The most hurt people that are going through it right now and are in a tough season are the ones with the most energy, the most charismatic ones, the ones with the biggest smile, with the most melody in their voice. You never know. It's fake, but it's beautiful on the outside. You're already deep in the water now. So what are you going to do knowing that you're in a tough season right now? I want you to know that things will change and it will not remain the same. It's just a part of your story. Your life is like a book filled with chapters, some that are hard to read, some that are painful, some that test you in ways you never imagined. But just like with any book, you don't stop reading because of one bad chapter. You keep going because you know that there's more to the story. Are you serious? You opened the book of your life and you want to give up now because you stumbled across a chapter you don't like? Don't quit now. The story isn't over and you don't know how it's going to end. The best chapters often come after the hardest ones. Trust me, it will finish and it will finish well. The struggles, the heartaches, the setbacks, it's just a part of the story. They are the chapters that shape you, that build your character and resilience. So don't cry to quit, cry to keep going.